Hey, what's up, Street Talks? This is Eric from the Eric from Street Photography blog. So I'm going to do a video real quick thinking about why ego is good. So ego is essentially a catch-all phrase to describe ourselves, our own inner mind, our soul, a combination of all the electricities in our body, and also a combination of our thoughts, our wiring, whatever. So consider modern society always tells us that ego is bad, ego is evil, and to be too into yourself and to fall victim to like foolishness or pride is a bad thing. But actually, I'm starting to rethink this. I'm starting to think that perhaps ego is the best thing we could have. Our vanity, our pride could actually be the prime movers of actually being a quote better human. So let me give you an example. So the reason I vote, right? The reason I vote is there's really no practical purpose to voting, because truth be told, my vote's not actually going to really change the election so much. But I vote because it's a pure pride thing. Is that like, if I'm gonna, complain about this country, I need to put at least my money where my mouth is, and saying that, I voted. And also, not voting is harmful to my pride, meaning that so it's a point of pride, because when people ask me, do I vote? I'm like, yeah. It's not even a fear of shame. It's just more like just to be proud about it. And I'm also a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, true story. So my pride is for me to be all American. And obviously I'm Korean American too, which is a cool hybrid. But ultimately, I'm proud to be an American, and ultimately, if I self-identify myself, I call myself an American before I actually call myself Korean. But it's probably more accurate to say I'm Korean American. But anyways, so I think to augment our ego, our pride, our sense of self is a very good thing, because even for example, the reason I like Stoicism, or the reason I like to not act petty, it's a personal pride thing. Is that I look at all these other dudes who are super duper petty with their partners. I'm like, I don't want to be like that guy. And actually, I feel like in life, the best role models we could have are the anti-role models, people you do not want to emulate in your life. So pretty much the best anti-role model in my life was my dad. And it was simple. I was like, if I want to become a great husband or a good father, it's simple. Just do everything exactly opposite of my dad. So I think about all the trauma I experienced as a kid, the way my dad treated my mom. So I try to do the exact opposite with Cindy. To my best ability, I try never to yell at her, blame her, make her feel guilty or whatnot. And it comes out of my personal pride. So being a Stoic, I actually think that means augmenting your pride through some sort of self-restraint. And it's not self-restraint in a bad way, where you're self-abnegation you're just kind of whipping yourself on the back. It's more like augmenting your own ego, your own pride, your own self-esteem by determining what you don't want to do in life, and essentially don't act a way that you criticize other people. You become the change which you wish to see in the world. So if I'm gonna be nobody's going to the hood to help these kids, and I don't actually go out and do nothing about it, then I can't say nothing. And also, it's with virtue, you don't need to virtue flex and tell other people how virtuous you are, because I also feel that's disingenuous. Jesus said it the best, right? It's if you're gonna do good deeds, don't announce it loud that you're doing virtuous things. Just kind of keep it to yourself, unless it just kind of randomly comes across conversation with friends or family or people you're close to. So generally speaking, even when I do virtuous things, I try to not trumpet it to everybody that I'm such a good person, whatever. And so helping other people too, I think it's a point of pride, where when I'm helping other people, I kind of see it in I remember when my mom was poor, crazy working class, and it's so difficult. And also when I look at other kids, I remember when I was a kid, their age. And so in strangers, I see a little bit of myself. And to me, this is so empowering, because if I'm able to externalize a little bit of my ego into strangers, then it means that like when I'm helping other people or empowering other people, I'm actually helping myself too. So I really do think that in life, you know, the more you help yourself, the more you help others, and the more you help others, the more you help yourself. So there's always this battle between collectivism and individualism. It's like, yo, what's best for others? What's best for myself? I mean, maybe isn't the life strategy to maximize both? Currently, my strategy is maximize your own selfish needs and wants and desires, and to share whatever superfluous energy you have with other people, and know that ultimately, you know, humanity is 1 trillion times more important than us, our families, and our local group. And so striving to empower all of humanity, I think, is kind of a good one, and to become the most epic human being that you can. And obviously we all have some limitations, but within these limitations, see how far you could thrive.